Dinosaurs.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You love them, I love them. And they make for easy entertainment. Ark, Primal, Jurassic Park, and even the disappointing Jurassic World sequels all managed to capture audiences with the incredible hook that is dinosaurs. Oh, I'm using that exact same hook to get you to watch this video. Even when critics hate it, fans find tons of enjoyment with anything related to a dinosaur. From 65 to Dino Dan, from Dino King to this guy's hand.
Oh, Mr. Arnold.
Dinosaurs are a hit, and I really believe they always will be. But that raises the question of where the hell are all the big dinosaur games? It seems like a sure win making one when there's next to no competition, and yet we've had no real options to look forward to. Until now. While it's nothing compared to the number of military FPS, medieval fantasy, and sci-fi games we get, we finally have a few promising dino games in development to look forward to. So while I drone on about the coming games to keep an eye on, you let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from a dinosaur game. Whether it's Cabela's big game Dino Hunter or Tarkov with dinosaurs, I want to hear your craziest ideas below. And if somehow I missed one, be sure to let me know in the comments. Okay, let's kick this off with the obvious and talk about the elephant in the room. Ark and the maybe dead Ark 2. Ark first released into early access on June 2nd of 2015, just a few short weeks before the first Jurassic World film. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is genius timing. They knew exactly who their target audience was. Ark was a difficult, buggy, time-intensive, buggy mess with reviews ranged in the mixed category. And despite all of its flaws, it exploded in popularity, selling over 1 million copies in its first month and reaching an all-time peak on Steam of almost 250,000 concurrent players. DLCs would add new locations, dinosaurs, gear, these weird-ass invisible sci-fi lion things, mech suits, and even dragons. Some would criticize the additions, saying the sci-fi and fantasy elements take away from the game, but overall the new content was well received. In fact, Ark would reportedly go on to become the fourth most bought game of all time for a while. For all intents and purposes, Ark was, and as of now, still is, the dinosaur game. Unlike disappointing titles like Exoprimal and Second Extinction, the disappointing title of Ark managed to secure its spot in the gaming world. All of this success would naturally lead Studio Wildcard to announce the mythical Ark 2, which we know next to nothing about, other than Vin Diesel is involved with the project, combat is supposedly getting a massive overhaul, and of course, dinosaurs. Unfortunately, with multiple delays pushing the game's original 2022 release date further and further back, we're left to speculate as to what role Vin Diesel's character plays, what these combat changes could look like, and what other improvements have been made to the formula, and even whether or not it's ever going to release. And I'm sorry to be a downer here, but things aren't looking great for Ark 2 at the moment. With attention from the studio focused on the Unreal Engine 5 remake, dropping player numbers on said remake, a controversial fixation on AI-generated trailers and TV content, and rumors that the aforementioned remake only exists because they ran out of money making the sequel, many are starting to doubt if it will ever actually release. And they're running out of time if they want to beat our next two titles to the market. On a more positive note, Turok is fucking back. That's right, the classic Doom shooter has gotten a second reboot with Turok Origins, the first being 2008's Turok. This second reboot is coming to us courtesy of the folks over at Saber Interactive, who you may know for surprise hits like Mud and Snow Runner, Teardown, World War Z, and of course, Space Marine 2. Turok Origins will be the first time the series moves to a third-person point of view and is being built with co-op in mind, so you can play the story solo or with a few friends. If I had to guess, there will probably also be some kind of PvP or PvE mode available at or shortly after launch, similar to Space Marine 2, although we don't know anything yet. If I can be extremely reductive for a second, if the original Turok is basically Doom with dinos, and the 2008 reboot was essentially Halo with dinos, then I'm really hoping Origins is just Space Marine 2 with dinos. Of course, these games have much more identity than I make it sound for this bit, but you get what I mean. Don't argue with me in the comments. And so far, it seems like I may get my wish. While we know extremely little about Origins, devs have gone on record stating Space Marine 2 is having an influence on development. I also have to mention there's a portion of the fan base that's upset with the third-person perspective. I get where they're coming from, I just don't care personally. The first-person perspective is hardly a defining characteristic of the series for me, and I believe going third-person could turn out just fine. I think most of the backlash is coming from a fear of them using third person to sell cosmetics, while I believe it was an effort to distinguish itself from popular franchises to avoid more serious comparisons like the joke I made earlier. I could easily be wrong, I admit, but considering Space Marine 2 was third person and faced no real threat of over-monetization, I'd rather hope for something good and be disappointed than just run around being cynical on the internet all day. Saber hasn't done wrong by me yet. I have no reason to doubt them. We still know relatively little about the game, but the devs have confirmed a 2026 release window, so expect more information soon. Turok is easily among the top of my list of most anticipated games, and I truly hope its return is as amazing as it deserves. Next up is another game coming from the Saber Interactive team, with this one looking more like Dino Crisis than anyone really expected. And it's a Jurassic Park game. Jurassic Park Survival is a first-person horror game set the day after the first Jurassic Park movie. That's it, I'm sold. To be perfectly honest, this whole video was made just so I could talk about this and Turok. In Survival, we'll play as Dr. Maya Joshi, a young woman left behind on the island after the evacuation. We don't know much about it yet, but according to the developer's website, each dinosaur will have unique and adaptive AI behaviors, leading the hopeful gamer in me to expect something similar to Dino Crisis crossed with Alien Isolation AI. We also know we'll visit iconic locations from the movie and see how the storm affected the island and park facilities. With fans clamoring for a Dino Crisis remake and Capcom fueling the rumor mill by saying they want to revitalize their dormant IP, now is the perfect time to make this game. Dino horror hype is at an all-time high thanks to Capcom. Alien Isolation hype is at an all-time high thanks to the confirmation of a sequel, and we have no news about either of those games. Factor in the continued success of the Jurassic Park franchise and the absolute drought of quality dinosaur content, and there will never be a more ideal time to capitalize on this hype than right now. So keep an eye on this one, folks, because this could be huge. We have no release date at the moment, but you can wishlist the game over on Steam now. Now with the big three out of the way, we've got to cover the smaller games. There's Jurassic World Evolution, the Park Builder games, which are definitely worth playing if you're a fan of park builders or Jurassic Park, but not exactly what most people have in mind when they want a dinosaur game. And there's the aforementioned Exoprimal and Second Extinction, which certainly existed. But aside from those, there are also several smaller projects in the works or in early access worth talking about. And the first one that has grabbed my attention and held it captive for quite a while now is Dino Blade. I mean, look, you can be a dinosaur with a big-ass Final Fantasy sword. What more do you need to hear? This shit sells itself. Look at this gameplay. And from everything I've found, this is done almost entirely by just one guy. The Steam page describes it as an action RPG where you'll venture across the map through different biomes, facing alpha dinosaurs, usually with their own big-ass weapons, growing stronger and unlocking abilities to aid you on your mission to stop an extinction. The game is set to release in 2026 and currently has a demo out on Steam. Next up is Deathground, and boy does this game look like it's got the potential to be the next indie hit. Deathground is a co-op horror game that lets you go in solo or with up to 3 of your friends to take on AI dinosaurs and complete tasks in what looks to be the next hilariously terrifying game to torture your friends with. There are 4 confirmed maps so far, each with unique tasks and dinos. Confirmed dinos to be making an appearance so far are the Utah Raptor, Compy, Allosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Triceratops, and of course the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It sounds amazing, and Deathground is out in early access on Steam right now. Reviews are pretty mixed, I'm not gonna lie, but I actually have high hopes for this one. It genuinely looks like it could be something great by full release. Lethal company with dinosaurs, if you will. Go check it out. When I first saw a trailer for this next game, Instinction, I thought it looked like a solid spiritual successor to the amazing tie-in game for Peter Jackson's King Kong. Now that we've got more info on it, it's clear this game, while inspired by it, is trying to make its own identity. Instinction will see us take on prehistoric creatures and a mysterious organization with stealth, melee, ranged weapons, and even supernatural abilities like telekinesis. The game will feature a taming mechanic, allowing us to bring certain creatures on our journey, each with unique personalities, abilities, backstories, and quests. The world will be full of unique areas to explore, quests, and puzzles, some of which will even require you to play as other creatures on land, in water, or in the air. Not much else is known, including a release date, but the game has been in development since 2020 and was announced in February of 2021, so we should hear more about it sometime in the near future. Next is The Lost Wild, a dino horror game coming from Great Ape Games, I love saying that name, and being published by Annapurna Interactive, the publisher behind hit games like Outer Wilds, Stray, and Journey. According to the Steam description, our main goal won't be combat, but survival through stealth, distraction, or even intimidation. Non-lethal intimidation, that is. And if all those fail, run. With help from a mysterious stranger on a radio, we'll scavenge for supplies and explore abandoned facilities in a lush wilderness that grows more dangerous the deeper we explore as we unravel the mystery at the heart of the island. The game was announced in late 2021 and had an official reveal trailer in 2022, but unfortunately we don't have an estimated release date yet, not even a year, but as is with the others on this list, you can wishlist the game over on Steam now. In our final game, Ferocious, you play as a shipwrecked survivor stranded on a strange island filled with mysteries. The story sees you trying to find your lost brother while fighting off dinosaurs and mercenaries. Gameplay-wise, this seems much more in line with Far Cry with dinosaurs than Dino Crisis. Ferocious released on the PCs December 4th, and the reviews are currently mixed, with the negative ones mostly revolving around shoddy AI. And that's all the upcoming dinosaur games I've had my eye on. But I'm not done just yet. If you've made it this far in my rambling, give me a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. So remember at the start of the video when I asked for your craziest dinosaur game ideas like a Dino Hunter or extraction shooter with dinos? Well, I love both of those ideas, and I'll probably love whatever you mention in the comments. But I've got an idea of my own. See, I think my ideal dinosaur game would be a well-designed and not too large open-world shooter, either first or third person, I don't care, with a dark and gritty narrative and atmosphere similar to the Stalker games. Story-wise, I'm honestly not too picky. There's plenty of routes you could go with it. Stopping an extinction event, stopping a war, stopping an alpha, I don't really care too much as long as it's done well and with the care that any good game deserves. Make a co-op while you're at it, because if leaving my friends to get eaten by a T-Rex while I find safety is wrong, I don't want to be right. To add some variety, maybe include some foreign or private military or militarized poachers or something like that for AI human enemies. It could even be the campaign for a multiplayer extraction shooter, and we could even work in some good dino hunting and egg stealing quests. Hey, it's all coming together, isn't it? Quick, someone get a publisher on the phone. Is Saber looking for any more dinosaur ideas? We've got to pitch this.